right, guys, I am fresh back from a 1-week vacation visiting my mother in a tiny little town of Cleburne, Texas. This is an overview shot of the downtown using my drone. You can see it's a pretty small town, a lot of industry around there. And one of the stores is a hardware store. It's not any of the name brand stores. It's still a privately owned little hardware store. And I found this Pro Source. By the way, for those of you who've never seen longhorn steer, this one belongs to my cousin. I've never seen him up close, decided to run the drone out there just to check him out. And just a little tip, if you guys are ever running from a longhorn steer, and I didn't know this until just now, if you get right above them, they can't turn their head to find you. So I hovered the drone up there, and that's how I discovered that. So that's the secret, man. Climb a tree, he can't look up there to find you. Anyway, back to this Pro Source. Not a lot to choose from in Cleburne, Texas. As you can imagine, private, family-owned hardware store. This is made in probably, right there, made in China. See it stamped on the bottom. We'll take a look at them in a minute. Solid brass, yeah. But what it doesn't say, it's got a Yale keyway. It doesn't say anti-pick or anything like that. I can see part of the key, shaking it around. I kind of picked this one out because I saw kind of a deep cut. Hopefully there'll be something else hidden behind that shackle. Let's go ahead, find some scissors and cut this guy open and see what he's got for us. I can figure out how to use the scissors through the camera lens. All right, we don't need this stinking package. See what we got here. Well, it is a 5-pinner, so that's a good thing. And I got a little bit lucky on the bitting there. We do have a low cut, but the rest of it that was hidden by that shackle, really not that great. But we do have a very deep gatekeeper there. I'm assuming it's going to work. I'm not going to pull these off to check it. Let's just see if we can find some ways to get into this thing. All right, this cheap of a lock. I think it was like 12 bucks. I'm looking at this, the fastest way to get in these sometimes. We find some shims and we will give it a shot. If we can slide it in there anyway. Okay, so at least it's on both sides if it's shimmable. I'm thinking that this shim on the right, the one with the blue handle here, is probably not long enough. I need to grab I went to grab a longer one, but the tip of him was bent. Here's a brand new one. See if we can get him to slide down there far enough. And there we go. That's how you get into these Pro Source. But let's pretend that didn't work. You see it's a spring-loaded shackle. They didn't even bother to put any little cuts or serrations in the side of it. And it doesn't extend out far enough to stop me from rolling that shim around it. But at least it is locked on both sides. So as the Indians say, double locking, right? All right, Pro Source. Let's try one more thing. Let's try to bypass this guy. So we're going to take it in there. I'm going to take my knife, homemade, and I'm just going to shove them in and push those pins up out of my way. And just see if we can jiggle this around. I can feel the actuator. So I'm probably bypassing this side. Now what I need to do is pull and then move the knife and try to bypass the other side. See if we can do that. Just jiggling back and forth, move him up and down while maintaining pressure, and hopefully I can pull that out of there. Maybe. Maybe not. All right, I can pull one side out, but I can't pull the other. Not because it's shielded, because it isn't, but because of the curve in this keyway. This, by the way, is not a Yale keyway. False advertising. See if I can get in from the bottom of the keyway. Nope, he just can't reach far enough to do the bypassing thing. All right, so that's at least going for it. Now we got the key off. Let's just make sure it does work. Better, yep. If not, we just got to shim this thing open permanently. Let's try to just slide this guy in there. I think that'll work. And let's grab a rake. Not that one, he's 15 thousandths. Let's grab one of the nice thick ones. That would be this guy, 25 thousandths or 23, I think it is. The Bogue 3 from the Elite Kit. Light tension. Well, now, getting a little resistance. There it is. Not very much resistance. All right, let's try to SPP him. I will take 25 thousandths Attila. I'm going to force him. I'm going to push heavy tension and just force those pins. Maybe. It doesn't seem, they all seem springy. None of them seem to be binding up for me. Am I on a pin there even? All right, I'm going to lighten up on my tension. He doesn't like to be forced. There's a binder. I tell you what, I believe that the tensioner is binding up in the bottom of there. So let's just put this guy in there, and that way I know he's not getting bound up. So now let's try the heavy tension trick again. Wow, I am impressed. All right, lighten up, moderate tension. We have to stick with raking and shimming on this guy. There's two. There's one. There's two again. I would not have expected this. Something that's so easy to rake open. All right, let's try that again. This time I'm going to go with light tension. Pin 1. Pin 1 again. I mean, he really went up there. Wow. All right. One just kind of oozed into place, but with no click. All right, tell you what, let's try something a little different. Slide him in there, light tension, and let's just try dragging it out. And there we go. Why in the world can't I SPP this guy? Might be the wrong pick, too. Let's try a different pick. Let's try this guy. This is the Euro Hybrid. Definitely pin 2. There's a little click. Three. Isn't that weird? They're all springy. After I get to one, everything goes springy. Only thing I can figure, I'm probably oversetting him. Let me see if I can force somebody in the back there. Wow. All right, let's try the dragon thing again. That definitely works. I can't give up on SPPing. I can't do it. All right, let's start from the front this time. There's 2. Everybody goes springy. All right, so let's not mess with 2. Let's make sure everything's down. There's 2. There's 1. I felt a good click on him. There's 3. There it's open. So apparently 2 is pretty tight. And if you overset him just a little bit, you're not getting in there. I mean, I'm sure that's not by design, But when you look at the key, you can see that second one there is really deep. So I was just apparently oversetting him just enough. Sometimes the lock, it just gets lucky, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, there you go, the Pro Source from downtown Cleburne, Texas. Appreciate your time, guys. Stay safe, stay legal, as always. Appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Click on that notification bell so you see whenever I post a brand new video. As always, if you like the video, click on that like button, and I appreciate your support, too. If you want to become a patron, that is how you do it. Thanks, guys. Each of these videos takes 4 to 6 hours to record, edit, and publish, so I'd really appreciate it if you show your support by subscribing and clicking on the like button. Thanks, guys.